It was a perilous time in the United States of America. Our political discourse had become a sewer. So vile, so venal that certain subjects dare not be raised at family gatherings. We had a crime epidemic no one knew how to control, civil unrest no one knew how to contain. We were a nation racked by a war no one knew how to stop. I was a 13-year-old farm boy at the time. My father was a hard-working farmer who expected me to do chores before and after school. He was a voracious reader who expected me to be well-read. He was an ex-military intelligence officer who just loved to interrogate me about current events at the family dinner table. And for these reasons, in 1968, I was probably the best read farm boy in all of Blackford County, Indiana. I knew the complete biographies of every candidate running for president that year, including a certain New York senator named Robert Francis Kennedy. On April 4th, I was getting ready to do my chores, and I glanced at the newspapers on the kitchen table. And I noticed that Robert Kennedy was in Indiana that day campaigning for president. So I decided to finish my chores early so I could see him on the evening news. Except when the news came on, he wasn't there. I saw cities on fire all over the United States of America, burning and looting and rioting. And then came President Johnson, pleading for calm and demanding law and order. Finally, halfway through the newscast, came on Senator Kennedy, standing on the back of a flatbed truck in what was then called the ghetto of Indianapolis, surrounded by a sea of horrified faces, as he told them that Dr. Martin Luther King had been assassinated. He talked about the pain of losing his brother to an assassin's bullet. He asked that they not respond to violence with violence, but to instead peacefully honor and remember Dr. King. He ended his speech by reciting the words of Aeschylus. Even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom through the awful grace of God. When he finished, thousands of people quietly joined hands and went to their homes and churches to pray. Indianapolis was the only city in America that night where there was no violence. I had a very personal connection to that moment. It was the first time in my life that I'd ever seen the raw power of words. Words that completely changed the destiny of an entire city. Words that forever altered my own journey. It didn't take me long to realize I would never be content to live the life of a farmer, that I had to be on or near that great stage of discourse and democracy, helping smart, passionate people craft their words, win an election, and advance a cause. Words are the most powerful drug humankind has ever known. The internet is the most powerful weapon ever invented. You do not need to be a senator. You don't have to run for president to make a difference. It has never been easier to right a wrong, correct an injustice, or lead a movement than it is right now. It has never been easier to be a source of inspiration and a role model, starving for good role models with civilized leadership. There has never been a better group of people, better suited to do that than those of us in this room.